freedom of religion is only guaranteed to those who are willing to fight for it and are in places where there are enough open-minded people for that to be possible. Paganism simply is any pre-Christian belief or concept as it pertains to religion. Originally, pagans were Hicks, and when Christianity was confined mainly to the towns, it was an easy way to say all those Hicks over there are backwards and still practicing the wrong religion. Somewhere in the 1100s was the first actual recorded killing of a person for the crime of witchcraft. But regardless of whether they were nobility and Gentiles who were framed so that the land could be stolen, or whether it was fear and hysteria and everybody was finger pointing, or if it was because the Earth's climate was changing and so crops were failing and there was fear and hysteria, the bottom line is the Christian Church decreed witchcraft to be wrong and illegal and punishable by death. So that regardless of who was actually persecuted, the finger was pointed at witches. And for all time since then, anyone who practiced with herbs and worked with healing arts and believed in a pre-Christian deity was evil. I entered into the study of witchcraft quite accidentally. Essentially, a girl promised to cast a love spell on me. And so I did some research to figure out what she was talking about, because I had some knowledge of metaphysics, but I wanted to know what she would know. And I discovered that she didn't understand her religion at all, but that I myself had come home. And I found a place where I can blend the Italian folk beliefs that I've brought down from teachings of my great-grandparents, along with my Cherokee heritage, and I could easily blend it all together into the cauldron of witchcraft, into a very potent brew indeed. Being in the broom closet is a term that implies that one has to be extremely secretive about their religion. Essentially, they're hiding from the world. Much as a gay person could be in the closet the same way, hiding their sexual orientation for fear of persecution. It occurs in small ways, from the snickers some people give you when they think that you're a hippie tree hugger or that you run around wearing goth paint, or they assume that every teenager who is into paganism is some kind of troubled, rebellious teen, to the more overt types that assume that everybody is crazy or that they're worshiping the devil. But those types really aren't the worst ones. The ones that are the worst are the ones that assume that they need to save your soul, because they will do so by firing you. They will throw rocks at your house. They will harm you and your kids. They will murder you to send you to God. People have been shot at. People have had their kids taken away, all in the effort to be saved by somebody who believes they're doing the right thing. That kind of thing happens in, modern America, not in some backwoods, country like you would assume. I would say the most irrational I have seen anybody over my religion would be an incident where a sheriff's chaplain and a volunteer sheriff's chaplain rounded up a whole bunch of their, and by a whole bunch I would say 20 to 30 of their parishioners, and brought them over to crash a religious service that was being held behind my friend's cult shop. And we weren't harming anybody. We weren't even out in open view. I believe the ritual was to celebrate the coming of spring. However, these Christians verbally assaulted us. They choked us with car exhaust fumes. And when we called for police and for intervention, One of them leaned over and showed me his sheriff's chaplain ID badge and told me the cops weren't coming. In cases like that, there's only two things you can do. You can run and hide and cry about it, or you can get loud and fight. So that's what we did. And after we got loud enough and got enough people to see what was going on, then everybody had to start acting right and owning up to their crimes. My two biggest fears in relation to my religion would be that somehow a time of persecution would again occur. For instance, a president might come to power in the United States that would outlaw any belief that practices magic. And, next thing you know, the witch burnings are, happening again. The other thing that I am most afraid of is that Wicca won't grow up. Well, witchcraft won't grow up. And that people won't be willing to own their history. People will again allow a few loud skeptics and anthropologists to tear down our own individuality and our own sense of identity and self. Well, I see myself continuing to practice my religion, whether or not it becomes illegal, or whether or not they, start burning people at the stake, or even if most of the people and the practitioners become fruits, whatever the issues may be, I will still continue to practice my religion, and I will teach it to my daughter.
Well, when I fly through the air on my broom, I like to zoom down the chimney to my living room. I hop right off and I begin to cook. I toil and I trouble from a big black book. It's easy these days with the microwaves that be. It's cool to be a witch in the century. Yeah, it's cool to be a witch. It's cool to be a wah 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 wah. It's cool to be a witch. It's cool to be a what a world, what a world. It's cool to be just hang out with me. You'll see it's cool to be a witch in the century.